Hi everyone, meteorologist Chad Evans here with a look at your daily weather forecast video, sponsored always by Trent Johnson State Farm. TrentIsMyAgent.com. Thanks to Trent. Big thanks to all of our other sponsors. Big thanks to all of you as well. We've got a little more snow shower action that's going to come in with time later today and tonight. May end as a little bit of light freezing drizzle. And then a couple more little clipper type systems that we'll watch that may bring a little snow. One will pass through on New Year's Eve. And then we got another one we got to watch somewhere near the 5th or 6th around that time period for a little system to come through. After that, it's overall pretty mild. We're going to get some rain around here. Then we watch a bigger system that may bring potentially some icy mix and snow and brutally cold air towards the middle part of January. Then we thaw and get warmer again and it rains, and then another shot of brutally cold air and perhaps another winter weather event that will be impactful as we end January and move right in to early February. You know, I showed you these measured thunderstorm gusts that we had from that line of storms that went through just the other day. And again, the tornado count keeps going up. We had an EF2 confirmed in Macon County, Illinois. We had an EF1 tornado actually down in southern Indiana, in Greene County, and Linton. An EF1 tornado with winds of 100 miles an hour went right through the downtown area. A lot of older historic buildings took on some damage there, and a lot of wind damage reports in those areas too. Here, our peak gust was 58 miles an hour that we measure with a weather station east-northeast of Michigan town. But I want to give a tip of the hat, or hats off, to Hudson Farms and Hufford Farms. Hudson Farms is southeast of Linden. Hufford Farms is at Cutler. They have weather stations now on their farms. That data is really vital to track storms in our area. The more weather stations that we have set up, the better. So big hats off to them in providing that data, having these weather stations in open rule settings with the anemometer and thermometer at the correct height, and providing such great local up-to-the-minute weather data. And that's been a spot that's been nice to get a station in. Hufford Farms putting that in at Cutler, then Hudson Farms to the southeast of Linden. All right, clouds are coming in now. You see them coming in from the northwest. There's your clipper system, and you can see some snow up northwest of our area as well. However, not all of it's reaching the ground, but you can see here this white and bluish color here, and then back behind, this is all kind of pivoting to the southeast. When we look at visibility, that tells us what's making it to the ground and what isn't. Well, here's Lafayette here, Monticello, Kentland. We look west, note how the visibility at Pontiac down to Lincoln, Illinois, and at Peoria, it's plus 10 miles. So the snow is not reaching the ground here, but once you get north of Peoria, it drops to as much as 1 mile, 1.75 miles, 2 miles. This is the snow that is reaching the ground, that is moving to the southeast. So this is Virga right here, but this is reaching the ground. Even starting to snow here at Aurora, Illinois, visibility down to 2 miles. So it's not that far away, and already the clouds are coming in. New camera up on Airport Road via NDOT and US 231. That should read US 231. I meant to change that placard out. And there's Fair Oaks at I-65 and Highway 14. You get the idea here. Skies are going overcast with temperatures that are running from mid-teens at Rochester to upper 20s at Covington. So obviously we've got a bit of a warm front here. That is a bit of a warm front ahead of our little weak clipper system. The warm front will come northward, so these numbers will be going up with time today and into the evening hours. But a little wave of snow will come through. You see the snow showers right here. This goes now to Wednesday morning. Little wave right there of snow comes through the area. Not as much in the far southwest. There'll be more as you go north and northeastward in the forecast area. So this is going to occur between about 5 p.m. and 4 a.m. This evening and tonight. And the latest data suggests that there could be up to 1 inch of snow from Winnemac to say about 12 Mile and Peru, Chili up to Rochester. This area has the best shot of getting an inch of snow. Even as far south as Peru, for that matter, there could be 1 inch of snow. And pushing an inch here at DeMont and then northeast of Rensselaer. More like a ½ inch or just some dustings and coatings of snow from Fowler and Lafayette down to Frankfort, Lebanon, and Tipton. Flora maybe up to a ½ inch of snow, and the same thing up here towards Wolcott, and then maybe still a few light dustings here from Ambia to Attica down to the Darlington area. We may not have anything down at Cayuga and Kingman, Covington area, over here to Stone Bluff, and also Rockville. Then we get another clipper behind that one, and this is going to impact us during New Year's Eve. So we see this one also coming in from the northwest. A quick shot of snow after the snow that we get this evening. May have a little bit of very light freezing drizzle on the backside of it late tonight. That comes through. This one has a little more umph to it, a little more lift, a little more moisture. It's quite possible from DeMont, Monticello, Flora, Kokomo, Tipton, all the way to Rochester that there may be 1 to 2 inches of snow, albeit pretty dry and fluffy snow. But here's the challenge. You talk about a very sharp cutoff. Very sharp cutoff between 1.5 inches, 2 inches of snow and just barely a light dusting. And that cutoff is very tedious. It's quite possible that this shifts just 10 miles, or it shifts just 20 miles north, or it shifts a little bit south. So this corridor from Morocco, Fowler, Lafayette, down to Lebanon, that's kind of a zone of uncertainty, if you will. If this shifts 10 miles, well, we may get 1 inch of snow in Lafayette. If it shifts 10 miles the other way, it's only like a dusting or maybe a ½ inch of snow. Bottom line is, the main thing to take away from this is that if you're going to be out on New Year's, the snow will be winding down as the ball drops, but it may be a little slick in places. The best chance of higher amounts of snow will be in our northern and northeastern counties, specifically Kokomo, Flora, Monticello, and northward. There will still be some dustings and coatings of snow that slicken it up a little farther to the south, but the farther south you get, like towards Rockville, Cayuga, Waveland, Kingman, Covington, and also like New Ross, the less chance you have of getting any snow at all. So keep that in mind as this little clipper comes through during a New Year's. And there's the timing. Wednesday starts to come in around 2 p.m. It exits by midnight. So it's going to be right there in that evening time frame when people are going out to eat or going out to parties, going out to celebrations, when some of that snow comes in. And then we got to watch around. The timing is so hard, and clipper timing is so hard. The farther you go out, just a few days, the harder it is to pinpoint the exact timing of a clipper system. They move so fast, and the models don't have the resolution to handle a clipper very well. But there is one looming, if you will, from between the 5th and the 8th of January. And this will zip in. It looks pretty similar to the other two, maybe just a hair stronger, but still looks like if we're going to get more in the way of snow, it's going to be the north and the northeast, and less totals as you go southeastward. And the amounts would be very minor. The northeast may get 1 to 2, sort of thing again. Then our attention goes to mid-January. So between the 5th, 8th time period and around the midpoint of January, there'll be a period where it's pretty mild. We'll get a little rain at times, but nothing intensely cold or anything like that. Then we watch the Arctic air mass come in from the north with an Arctic front, and that very cold air will come in, and warm, moist air will begin to ride over the top of it as a storm takes shape down here in the Texas Panhandle and New Mexico area, and the tropical moisture will be flowing northward. This has the potential to be a pretty widespread winter weather event for the Ohio Valley, Northeast, all the way down into the Southern Plains, and a good chunk of the Corn Belt as well. This could be ice here. I think this is a very plausible, very possible scenario, given the setup that we're going to have in place. This could be ice, A little snow here, southeast of us, but the main thing we're watching is what's down here in Texas. This is kind of what it looks like from an analog perspective. It'll be very warm in the southeast U.S. This is brutally cold air coming in from the northwest. The Arctic front will be here. Here's your storm, and it will kind of ride the Arctic air mass kind of like that. And what those storms tend to do is bring the snow on the backside. But the big question will be, what's the exact storm track? In this case, this particular data brings more ice changing to snow than ending for our area rather than just all snow. We'll have to wait and see about that. But it's very clear that there'll be an Arctic front here, brutally cold air going this way, mixed precipitation, icing scenario along the front, and there's going to be a system down here in Texas that rides northeastward and then deepens over Michigan, and we get some snow on the backside with strong winds and very cold air coming in. There's the cold air that will be flowing in. Again, think of your system being about right here roughly. There's the brutally cold air punching in. Again, your Arctic front will be laid up here. This could be an area of severe weather down south where it's warm. Today, the rest of the day, and right now it's still really cold out there. And we're only going to be around 24 by 3. We're up to 26 by 7. We turn overcast area wide. The snow showers begin to come in. The wind's picking up from the southwest. We'll hit a high of 31, but that's a little misleading. That high of 26 to 33 forecast wide, it's misleading because the high will occur overnight and then fall to 28 late. So after a 28 in the morning, we do see a quick rise tomorrow with a wind out of the southwest to a high of 38. But the thing is, another front comes through. So the temperature drops in the afternoon down to 29. So after a few bits of very light freezing drizzle, after some snow shower action, very late tonight, early tomorrow morning, we see brief sun and then it clouds right back up and more snow comes in tomorrow with winds kicking up from the northwest. 29 by 7 p.m. as New Year's Eve festivities get underway. There are the highs at 29 to 40 degrees, 38 Lafayette, 33 Remington. But again, remember, these numbers will begin to fall in the afternoon and especially the evening. So for New Year's Eve itself, 31 at 6, we're down to 26 by 10 p.m. and 19 at 2 a.m. As the ball is dropping, the wind chills will be dropping quickly as well. We'll be down to 1 below 0 to 8 above towards midnight with a brisk northwest wind and the snow showers around and some slippery roads in places, especially as you go north and northeastward. And then anything beyond that is very isolated after 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. New Year's Day is a cold one. Maybe a couple isolated snow showers, flurries in the morning, 14. A high of 23. More sun, though, as the day goes on. But highs only running 19 at Wheatfield and Winnemac to 25 at Rockville and 20 at Logansport. And remember the wind chills in the morning, 4 below 0 to 4 above. And in the PM, single digits to low teens. Now, we're 9 then rising on Thursday night. 32 for the high on Friday, 37 Saturday, 37 on Sunday, 39 Monday. It's not bad. And then I'm still trying to pin down the timing of that other clipper somewhere in here. 36 Tuesday, we're in the 30s Wednesday. May turn briefly cooler behind the clipper, but then we're back to the 40s a week from Friday as some fairly mild weather overall sets up until it turns brutally cold and we get an impactful winter weather event in mid-January.